Communicating with the other side is one thing, but twice now, Tyler Henry has almost joined the other side. Behind the scenes, Henry's life has been a wild ride. After having his first psychic experience at the age of 10, Tyler Henry embraced his gift. Rather than trying to shut out all of the information he was suddenly receiving, Henry began sharing it with those around him, even if they didn't ask for it. From fellow students to teachers, Henry would simply tell folks what he'd learned about their families. The future reality TV star decided this was what he needed to do, and at 16, he set up shop inside a new age bookstore called Cosmic Corral in his hometown of Hanford, California. For just $35, Henry would offer readings, and soon, his fan base grew to include some big names, like actor Sarah Paulson. Paulson was so impressed with her own experience that she invited Henry to a party in LA where he met talent managers Larry Stern and Michael Corbett. After watching Henry do his thing, the duo decided to film the young medium doing a group reading for 10 of their friends. The resulting footage then became a show pitch to E!, and thus, Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry was born. Just a month after his 18th birthday, Henry got a surprise he never wanted. Following a period of relentless headaches, he could no longer ignore the pain.
And then I went to my mom after a few days of this not subsiding, and I said, "Mom, I think my brain is swelling."
He went to the hospital for testing, only to discover he had suffered a stroke and was now dealing with the effects of an arachnoid brain cyst. Although the cyst was congenital, meaning Henry was born with it, it had suddenly started blocking the flow of fluids, leading to swelling and mounting pressure in his brain. He later wrote in a candid Facebook post, "Only 24 hours earlier, I had jogged 2 miles. Now, I was being told by nurses that I was not permitted to move, let alone walk, at the risk of my brain rupturing." The medium said he had a grape-sized mass in his brain, but thankfully, the surgery to remove it was a success. Choosing to look at this harrowing ordeal as an opportunity to grow, Henry told fans on Instagram that it helped him learn to trust other people. It also impacted some more practical matters, like driving. Following surgery, Henry decided he'd never get behind the wheel of a car, but as he told TV Insider, "I don't mind being chauffeured through the crazy LA traffic. I plan to milk this for as long as I can."
There's a feeling of acceptance, and I know this is kind of hard to explain, but this person gives me this feeling of like I was okay to go before I died.
If you believe in Henry's gift, you may find yourself feeling slightly jealous of his ability. But as he told The Cut in 2024, his unique gift can also be a curse. He said there's no way to shut off the communication he receives from spirits, and so, even if he wanted to take a break, it simply wouldn't be possible. Asked what would happen if he stopped doing readings, Henry said that he'd previously tried that and found his mind soon became overly crowded by outside voices and stories. What's more, ignoring the connection only made matters worse. He said, "If I want to take 3 weeks off, by week number 2, I start feeling a little funny, and even funnier, and even funnier." As he puts it, the only way to stop that feeling from intensifying is to unburden himself from the emotions and stories, which means sharing them with others. Tyler Henry first met Clint Godwin thanks to the Kardashians. Well, sort of. As the reality TV star told GLAAD in 2022, Godwin spotted him on Keeping Up with the Kardashians and reached out to book a reading of his own.
He tweeted me. He slid into those DMs.
The session not only proved to be extremely powerful, but it also changed the trajectory of both of their lives.
I knew the second I saw him that I had something that I needed to share with him regarding a message about his grandfather who had died.
Godwin's grandfather had taken his own life, and Henry was able to communicate to both Godwin and his mother why that had happened. That formed a unique and strong bond between them, and soon, the pair began dating. That was 2016, and nearly a decade later, in May 2025, they decided to tie the knot. Taking to Instagram, Henry shared a photo of the happy couple beaming in front of the Beverly Hills courthouse and gushed, "I knew when we met nearly a decade ago that you would be the one. Best premonition ever." Despite all of his success, Tyler Henry still has a fear of failure because, as he told USA Today, it comes with the territory. He said, "As a medium, there's a great fear of humiliation. There's a great risk of not only being wrong, but looking fake." Even so, in 2024, Henry teamed up with Netflix for something never tried before in the realm of mediums, readings broadcast in real time with no editing. The show was called Live from the Other Side, and Henry said that he was confident that the formula would be appealing to both skeptics and believers if it went according to plan, because it would spotlight what the cameras usually don't show on Hollywood Medium after editing.
No safety nets, no filters, but it really has demonstrated the process, which has been such a powerful part of it.
As for why he was willing to take such a risk, Henry shared that it's important to not shy away from fear. Rather, he's a firm believer in facing it head-on and working past it. As he put it, "There's something to be said about being able to have the courage to face discomfort and understand that is where growth exists." A decade after his initial brain surgery, Henry found himself in the hospital yet again. In May 2025, the medium took to Instagram to let fans know he had undergone a successful brain operation, similar to his first. Again, doctors removed a cyst, a slow-growing tumor that is most often benign, which they had found close to the center of Henry's brain. Although such masses don't always have to be removed, they can cause complications, such as fluid buildup and increased pressure, in which case surgery is necessary. It's unclear if Henry was showing such symptoms, but, as he pointed out, it was his second time undergoing such a procedure, and he felt positive about his recovery. Indeed, just a couple weeks later, Henry was back on Instagram announcing that he would be holding a virtual group reading that very week. After thanking followers for their support and well wishes, Henry explained that getting back to work so soon after surgery was actually one of the best things he could do for his health.
Readings are a huge relief for me.
Tyler Henry only turned 26 in 2022, but he's been honing his skills for a long time. In an interview with Ryan Seacrest, Henry revealed that he was just 10 years old when he first discovered his abilities. As he tells it, everything was business as usual when he went to sleep one night, only to wake up later with a premonition.
And when I woke up, I had this overwhelming knowingness that my grandmother was going to die. And I didn't have a doubt about it.
As he was telling his mother about the feeling he was having, she got a phone call informing her that Tyler's grandma had indeed just passed. He summed up the experience by saying, "That whole instance changed everything." For the last decade, Henry has been aware of his abilities, but the spooky incident became a starting point for his Hollywood career as a communicator with the spirit world. Tyler Henry started being paid for his medium abilities when he was still attending Sierra Pacific High School, receiving about $40 per reading. At the time, Henry was living with his parents outside of Fresno, California. Henry said that while he was shy in high school, he did share his talents with others, often performing readings for other students and even teachers at his school, according to an article about Henry in the Fresno Bee. But according to the outline, Henry was unhappy with high school and chose to leave Sierra Pacific to begin homeschooling instead. Through an accelerated program, he graduated from high school early. Just 3 years later, he was well on his way to becoming a TV star and well-known author who routinely hangs out with celebrities from every corner of the entertainment industry. When he signed on to do his TV show, he wasn't even old enough to buy beer. Tyler Henry told Out magazine that he always knew he wanted to help people, but originally, he thought he was going to help the world by working as a nurse. He enrolled in college with the goal of becoming a hospice nurse in mind, but his path ended up taking him in a different direction before he completed his education in this field. As he told the magazine, "When I was going to school, I got a reading from a woman who told me that when I was 19, I'd start filming a TV show, and that it would do well, and that I'd write books, and that was my life purpose." It may not be how he pictured it as a child, but Henry is still taking care of people and helping them in whatever way he can.
Do you have any questions about your personal life or any areas that I could answer?
Do you believe in aliens?
It's not just Hollywood gossip. Tyler Henry really did warn Alan Thicke about his heart just months before the former TV dad died from a ruptured aorta. Henry gave Thicke a reading about 3 months before the actor's death. In a later episode of his e-reality series, Henry showed a video of the session to Thicke's widow Tanya. During the reading, he talked to Thicke about keeping an eye on his heart health, and specifically his blood pressure as he got older, adding, "It's possible that within your family, there might be multiple men who end up at a later age dealing with blood pressure issues, but also deal with either a heart murmur or heart arrhythmia." Thicke sort of laughed off Henry's concern, saying that while his sister had dealt with a heart issue, he wasn't aware of any genetics that would lead to Henry's conclusion.
Just not a genetic line that we've known.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
That is unbelievable.
Tyler Henry says that many are skeptical of his gift and feel that he needs to prove his abilities before they will trust him, telling Out magazine that he strives to focus on information that can't be found online or information that would be only known to family members. Despite endorsements from celebrities and a devoted fan following, Henry has been labeled as a fraud and a grief vampire by some. Henry was the target of a blistering editorial from the Neurological blog, where the unappealing label is used outright. Henry has also been a frequent target for CSI, the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry, as well as the Skeptoid blog, where he's been accused of feeding off grief. Tyler Henry is starting to become as recognizable as his famous celebrity clients, but plenty of people aren't quite sure which famous person he actually is when they run into him out and about in the world. When speaking to BuzzFeed in 2017, Henry revealed the celebrity that he gets confused with the most, saying, "I'm typically used to being misrecognized as Macaulay Culkin by people who don't know he's 36.
Do people think you're Macaulay Culkin?
They do. I feel like I'm better looking than Macaulay Culkin. I will put that out there.
Look at images of Culkin from 10 years ago, however, and the resemblance is remarkable. Henry is a dead ringer for Culkin's character in Party Monster. Even today, the similarity in their features and hairdo is pretty easy to see. The Hollywood medium could easily pass as one of Culkin's many younger brothers. Henry has also been mistaken for Dylan Minnette from the Netflix hit 13 Reasons Why, though the resemblance there is much less striking. Tyler Henry has given readings to many celebrities, but there's one group that interests Henry's fans more than everyone else. In an interview with Elite Daily, Henry said that he's most often asked about the Kardashians and Jenners. Henry has given readings to multiple family members, saying of the reality TV stars, "They're lovely. When I talk to them, it's like talking to anybody else. They're looking for the same things. They have the same questions." Henry was attending a party with some of the Kardashians and Jenners when he ended up giving a reading to Bella Thorne, who was also in attendance. Henry previously gave a reading to Khloe Kardashian, where he talked about her relationship with Tristan Thompson. Later, reports that Thompson had been unfaithful began to circulate. In addition to his other talents, Tyler Henry has also written 2 books that discuss his views on the spiritual world. His first book, Between Two Worlds: Lessons from the Other Side, is a memoir that was initially released in 2016 and became a national bestseller. The book not only reflects on how Henry's experiences led him to become a celebrity clairvoyant, but it also addresses how spirituality can impact our lives. The reality star's second written work, Here and Hereafter: How Wisdom from the Departed Can Transform Your Life Now, was published more recently and focuses on helping Henry's readers learn how to live their best lives while embracing their spiritual sides. Additionally, the day before the release of Here and Hereafter, Henry had a live stream where he answered questions and offered signed copies of the book. Stating that the new publication involved 2 years of hard work, the star noted that one of his recent health issues, which forced the medium to have emergency surgery after his lung collapsed, is also addressed in his latest book. Going on to explain that Here and Hereafter is about using wisdom to avoid regret, Henry told his viewers that we can all gain insight from the mistakes of the past, saying, "If we can approach life in that way, we can prevent future regret by learning from what other people have to teach us." While Tyler Henry is well known for Hollywood medium, the popular series isn't the only option for watching the clairvoyant work his magic. Recently, the reality star released a new show on Netflix called Life After Death with Tyler Henry. His new unscripted series sees Henry taking a break from Hollywood and traveling all over the country to offer readings to people searching for answers. Additionally, Henry also gets personal, sharing what it's like to live with his abilities and how it affects his life. The series also seeks closure for a bizarre mystery surrounding Henry's family. Back in 2019, Henry's mom learned that the woman she believed to be her biological mother was, in fact, not related to her at all. If that wasn't shocking enough, the woman previously believed to be Teresa's mother had also been convicted and served time for her role in a double murder. While trying to dive further into the mystery on his Netflix series, Henry learned that he was too emotionally close to get a clear reading from his biological relatives or their possessions, though he did reflect on the obviously emotional topic.
She could have had a completely different life, and that was taken from her by this criminal.
Additionally, in an effort to explore the validity of Henry's gift, USA Today reporter Aaron Jensen received a special reading from the star and reflected on whether or not he's actually the real deal. While admitting that some of the information provided could have been found on the internet, Jensen added that certain statements were too personal to be a simple coincidence, ultimately concluding that she's convinced by the medium's abilities. With an ever-growing reputation for his clairvoyant abilities, it's not surprising that people are clamoring to get a reading from Tyler Henry. While you don't have to be a celebrity to inquire, you do have to have patience, at least according to a still-expanding waitlist, which currently sits at over 300,000 people. Similarly, Henry's site doesn't list any rates for his services, something those patiently waiting should probably keep in mind. Some high-profile mediums like John Edward can charge $850 for a private reading, while others like Long Island medium star Teresa Caputo services range from $50 to $175. However, even with the potentially hefty price tag, many of Henry's fans still can't wait for the opportunity to get a one-on-one with the famous clairvoyant. If you really want to try speeding things up, Distractify suggests a potential alternative. Henry is known to sometimes give away readings online, so following his social media pages and sending a message could result in getting an ever-coveted reading from the Netflix star. When Corey Feldman appeared on Hollywood Medium to get a reading, he was thrilled when Henry offered him messages from the late Corey Haim. E! News stated that while Feldman was initially guarded, the information provided by Henry convinced him of the clairvoyant's abilities. Henry even ended up offering Feldman some advice and encouraged the star to be more open about his mistreatment as a child star, with Feldman responding that the medium's words were the exact answer he was looking for. However, despite Feldman's positive reaction, not everyone was thrilled with their encounter. According to TMZ, Judy Haim, the late actor's mother, is no fan of the celebrity clairvoyant. Haim stated that Feldman's attempts to contact her son on Henry's show, Hollywood Medium, was purely for financial gain. adding that prior to his death, her son wasn't close to Feldman. Similarly, Entertainment Tonight Canada reported that Haim reaffirmed her statements during an interview, saying that Feldman's claims of close friendship with the late celebrity are statements he used to stay in the spotlight. She accused Feldman's interaction with Henry of being pure fabrication. Being a medium can have its advantages, as Tyler Henry has been able to rub elbows with some of Hollywood's most elite celebs, but the spirits who speak to him aren't always related to strangers. Sometimes, as Henry revealed in an interview with E! News, ghosts can put a real damper on relationships. Though Henry is happily in a relationship currently, there are times when the spirit world makes things really weird. However, Klink is very understanding, according to Henry, who said, "Something will come through from his grandfather, or I'll get a message for his family, and he understands that I kind of have to get it out so we can go about our evening. It's a little awkward, but he understands how I work." While plenty of us wonder about an afterlife, Tyler Henry may have some answers. He told Newsweek, "I think there is definitely life, but that is very different from the familiarities in this realm." In clarifying his words, the celebrity medium said that though he still has plenty of questions himself, he believes that it's natural for humans to be limited in their understanding of the spiritual world and what comes after death. Still, Henry thinks that the deceased he connects with have moved on to a place where they are at peace, saying, "When people come through, they're not talking about heaven or hell." Henry also noted that no matter what or where it is that people go after death, what's important is that something awaits us, and that these spirits still find ways to contact those they've left behind. The medium also said that he's constantly gaining further knowledge about the afterlife as he continues his work. As for the doubters, Henry acknowledged that not everyone will accept what he has to say, saying, "I've definitely come to a point in understanding that I can only help the people that want my help." Though skeptics say that many mediums use research and other techniques in order to give their clients accurate readings, those who work behind the scenes at Tyler Henry's reality show insist that he has no idea who he's going to meet when he does a reading. The show's executive producer, Michael Corbett, gave more details to Metro Weekly, saying, "We are very secretive. We never let Tyler know who he's going to read. It's never written down anywhere. He doesn't know who he's going to read until he opens the door. That's the reality." Speaking in an interview with TV Insider, Corbett said that clients are given a code name in order to maintain the utmost secrecy, and that he was convinced of Henry's abilities after he received a reading himself, after which Corbett said he knew he had to create a show featuring Henry.
And when he left it, he understood from the mindset of a skeptic more how it worked once he had the first-hand experience.
While chatting with New Now Net, Henry discussed everything from his religious upbringing in a small conservative area to his life as an openly gay clairvoyant. Soon after, Henry revealed the significance of meeting RuPaul when America's favorite drag queen appeared on Hollywood Medium for a reading, saying, "I would say that one was so memorable for me because growing up, I watched RuPaul. He was somebody who I felt a sense of relatability to when I grew up in this little small town." And getting to meet the iconic celebrity and help him find closure with his late father, Henry stated that he felt like he was finally able to repay RuPaul for providing him with a wider range of representation during his youth. Additionally, the Netflix star noted that he and RuPaul still keep in touch, and at one point, RuPaul even gave Henry a recommendation for a gay bar in Atlanta, adding, "And we made chocolate together. So I think I'm one of the few people that can say I made chocolate with RuPaul." Tyler Henry has done readings for some of Hollywood's heaviest hitters. His client roster includes such names as Megan Fox and LaToya Jackson, sister of the late Michael Jackson. However, there is one name that remains on Henry's celebrity wish list. When asked who he would like to give a reading to, Henry gave an answer that may surprise some people: infamous ice skater Tonya Harding. He explained in an interview with Elite Daily, saying, "I'm a huge fan of Tonya Harding, but in seeing her life, she has gone through some extraordinary stuff. I just feel like as a person, she has an incredible story. There's a lot of healing that could be had there that I feel she could really benefit from."